Hey guys, how my beautiful people doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dan. Long time no see, I know. It's been a long time, but summer is coming, which means I'm coming back with a lot of sunscreen reviews. I've tested a lot of sunscreens for the past couple of months. Today I'm gonna start strong with my favorite, which is the Roche Posay, I think that's how you pronounce it. Anthelios UVMune 400 Anti-Dark Spots Fluid. Looks like this. It's their newest release. They finally got rid of oxysalate, which I'm so grateful for because I'm allergic to oxysalate. So I finally can go back to using a La Roche-Posay sunscreen. It's been a really long time. Before I start the full review, consider following me on Instagram. Subscribe to this channel for more skincare content. Check out my Patreon, even though nobody's following me there. Maybe you want to help support the channel, check it out. What else? I have a TikTok account. You can check out my TikTok. I'm gonna start as always with the packaging. I love this packaging. It just looks so nice and sleek and small. You can just put it in your pocket. It doesn't stick out anywhere. Really nice packaging, 10 out of 10. It does get a little bit messy here at the opening. It's not a huge deal. It looks small, but it still offers you 50 ml of products, which I still think it's very little for a sunscreen, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna be able to change the industry. Now they're coming up with all these 30 ml, 40 ml sunscreen for like $20. I'm like, are you guys out of your mind? It's like, that's gonna last me like 2 weeks, 30 ml of sunscreen. And 2 weeks, that's without reapplying. If I'm gonna reapply, it's gonna be gone in a week, which is, yeah, it's crazy to me. This is not a moisturizer. This constant light change is annoying. So yeah, really nice packaging. When it comes to price, I paid around $17 for this one. I think I bought it on Look Fantastic. I used the discount code, but I also did use my link, which kind of gave me some of my money back that way. Speaking of links, if you guys decide to use any of the links, I really appreciate it. You might get a discount. You might just pay the normal price. You're never gonna pay more than the normal price. So thank you so much if you decide to use the link. But yeah, I bought it on Look Fantastic. $17 is not that much considering you get incredible top-notch protection. You also get the Melasil, which is like their newest groundbreaking anti-dark spots ingredients. They say it's better than hydroquinone, which it's not, let's be honest here. But it's still, it's a nice bonus. So when it comes to irritating ingredients, this is fragrance-free. It does have a lot of alcohol though. It is what it is. I mean, L'Oreal loves to use alcohol. I get it. I don't mind some alcohol in my sunscreen. It is used to, there's a lot of filters in this one, a lot of different filters, and they need alcohol to kind of solubilize them, to make the formula more fluid, more lightweight, more elegant. I wish they would not use it, but it is what it is. I don't really mind alcohol in sunscreens, but I know some people might find it a little bit more drying. When it comes to the UV filters, the protection of the sunscreen, my experience with the sunscreen, like I said, they finally got rid of oxysalate, which I'm so grateful for. I can finally use this one. They did leave avobenzone though. All of the other ones are new generation filters, but they still have avobenzone, which I kind of get. If you look at the graphs, avobenzone is still such an amazing UVA filter. It's really great. Avobenzone can still compete with all the new generation sunscreens when it comes to all the new generation UV filters. When it comes to the UVA protection, it is really that great. Now, with that being said, if P20 can achieve a UVA protection of 60 without avobenzone, I think L'Oreal can also do that. So yeah, avobenzone and just a bunch of new generation UV filters, including the Mixerol 400, which provides protection against ultra-long UVA rays. It provides protection against this specific range of UVA rays, and we don't have any other filter to provide against this specific UV range. Okay, I think I got a little bit too close to the camera there. So, when it comes to the formula of this one, unfortunately, it's not fungal acne safe anymore. They did include a little bit of polysorbate 60, a tiny amount. It's not the most problematic ingredient for fungal acne. It doesn't trigger my fungal acne. I've been using this every day, but still, you have to be aware of that. So it's not completely long-lasting safe anymore, even though it's not a problematic product. Now, I feel like this one is a little bit more elegant. If I had to compare them with the other fluids from the UVMune range, it is a little bit more elegant in my opinion. Take that with a grain of salt though. I don't have the other ones to like test them, but from what I remember, it's just slightly more elegant. It is kind of as shiny as the oil control one. It's definitely, well, it's slightly less shiny than the normal UVMune. Oh, the constant change in lighting, it's annoying. Oil control is still shiny overall, but not something crazy. It's silica as the third ingredient, which is a pretty high amount of silica, which is, it absorbs oil, so yeah, that's why. I've tested it with my UV camera 12 hours after applying it, and it looked pretty much the same. Like, I was pretty blown away by that. It looked just like freshly applied. Now, you cannot tell that much when it comes to the protection of a sunscreen using a UV camera, but you can tell when a sunscreen is not protecting you, because you gotta see those holes in the film. And this one just looked very, very similar to just freshly applied after 12 hours. So the film is staying on your skin. It's hard to remove this one from your skin. I need to double cleanse every time I use it. So yeah, the protection is there. And speaking of protection, SPF50 plus, we don't know the UVA protection. La Roche Posay, or L'Oreal in general, I guess, they decided to not disclose the UVA protection anymore. They say it's because the ultra long UVA protection, I mean the PPD way of measuring the UVA protection doesn't include the ultra long UVA protection, which is kind of like the main sell point of this sunscreen, that it provides protection against that specific range. So it's not as reliable. I'm not sure if everything I'm saying makes sense, because I'm just speaking so fast and it's been such a long time since I filmed the video. I'm like all over the place. What was I saying? With all that being said, of course, I would still want them to disclose the UVA protection, but whatever. I don't really care that much about it because, and that's the main reason this is my favorite sunscreen at the moment, I went to a vacation. Now I'm gonna speak about my own experience with the product, I guess. I went to a vacation in Lisbon and Madeira for the past 2 weeks, and I came back with the same amount of hyperpigmentation around my eyes. This is my most problematic area, and I always come back from vacation with some degree of darkening of the hyperpigmentation on my eyes. Like, no matter what sunscreen I use, no matter how much I reapply, it's always getting a little bit worse. And this is the first time when I feel like it's the same. It's maybe there is like a tiny bit, I don't notice it. To me, it just looks exactly the same as when I went to the vacation, which proves once again, I guess, how strong the protection of this one is, and I guess how important Mexerol 400 is, and in general the ultra long UVA protection, how important that is. Based on my research, the ultra long UVA rays are probably the most damaging. They penetrate the deepest in your skin. There's a lot of them. There's a very high amount of them in the atmosphere, and it's kind of crazy to me that we don't really have, outside of L'Oreal, there's no other companies that can use this specific filter, the Mexerol 400. Although I think I read somewhere that they're finally are gonna start including it in Korean sunscreens because they sold the patent or something like that. I'm not really sure how it works. Hopefully we'll have some more sunscreens using Mexerol 400, but it is an amazing filter. So yeah, now I'm not completely 100% sure the Mexerol 400 is like the only thing that made my hyperpigmentation not get any darker. I feel like the Melasil in this one also played a role. It's probably a little bit of both, because we have some Melasil in this one, which is like their new ingredient. After 18 years of research, they finally discovered it and all that story, all that stuff. There's not a huge amount of it. It is pretty low on the ingredient list, but I was thinking, when it comes to the serum, you are applying 3 or 4 drops of it on your skin, and when it comes to this sunscreen, you have to apply, me personally, I applied 35 drops. I did my measurements and that's how much I need. So 35 drops, that's 10 times more than you would apply with the serum. So even though there's a small amount of melacin in this one, you are applying 10 times more of that. So in the gram scheme of things, it kind of makes a difference in my opinion, especially if you reapply, you're gonna get even more melacin, combined of course with the top-notch protection that this offers. It's a really nice blend. That's why I think it's worth the price, even though it's a little bit of a higher price. I think it's worth it. And I do think at the moment this is one of, if not the best sunscreen on the market when it comes to the protection that it offers. Of course, because of the avobenzone, because of the alcohol, that kind of removes some people from being able to use it, which sucks. But if you can, if it doesn't bother you, speaking of bothering, it doesn't bother my eyes. La Roche-Posay sunscreens never bothered my eyes. They use this net lock technology, I think. So yeah, it's a great product. It is a great product. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you find it helpful. It's my first video after a long time, so I'm pretty sure it was not the best, but it is what it is. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave some questions in the comments below. I probably missed something, so I'm gonna reply to all of them in comments below. Love you all. See you on my next video.